Release the savage.
Alright, so the generated structure I'm showing you guys next is called the village, or the NPC village. And basically, these generated structures spawn naturally in plains, savannas, and I believe deserts? Yeah, and deserts. Basically, it's a village composed of all these different types of houses. There's so many different houses. They spawn with little wheat and farm beds, so if you guys want to raid a village, you have a plentiful supply of food. There's also little houses that you could take over, and there's also these guys, the villagers, and basically they're really stupid, but they do come in like multiple variations. They all look different, and they're pretty cool. See, some of them, they like spawn in these houses. Here's like this white robed one's like a librarian or something. If I open this door, he'll probably walk out. Come on. There we go. But yeah, that's the librarian. Over here we got the priest. So he's like the purple robed villager. And there's a bunch of different towers. All these houses that you could possibly take over. It is just absolutely amazing. And whoa, that is a bug. What? What? Oh, there it goes. But yeah. They have a ton of different houses. This is the library. This is just a big house. Over here is the church tower. Those are just some small houses. The well that's at the center of the town. Bunch of small other houses. Then there's this guy. This is the blacksmith. He's got the black robe. And this is his building. It comes complete with 2 furnaces, some lava, and a chest in the back of this room. If you break the chest, it'll reveal the contents, and wow, that's actually really good loot. I'm probably going to make a seed video on this, just because this is a really good seed. But it has sword, gold, apples, comes with a multitude of loot. And it's all randomized, so it's some pretty good stuff. And they vary in size. This is rather big. Some of them can be only 1 or 2 houses big. Others can be massive like this one. So, villagers and villages, new feature, and they're really cool. One of the more notable generated structures in 0.9.0 is the addition of caves. This is something that people have wanted for a very long time, and basically, caves are little tunnels that go underground, and they basically cut holes through the terrain, and it makes looking for resources a lot easier. It's really cool, and they're a lot of fun to explore in. You can find anything from rare ores to dungeons, mine shafts, strongholds. See, there's like a bunch of iron that's like sticking out. There's tons of stuff, and if you just dig around, generally you'll find a continuation to a cave. And it doesn't look like there's a continuation back here, but nonetheless, caves have been added. Really cool, tons of fun to explore, and it makes the game feel a lot more like the PC version. The next structure that I'm going to be showing you guys is the abandoned mine shaft. These generate underground and are extremely huge, vast networks of tunnels that act sort of like caves, except for the fact that they spawn with tons and tons of spiders. So there's spawners everywhere for these spiders, and they can crawl in and out of these large concentrations of spider webs, and behind them is typically a spider spawner, just like I could see right here, and I just broke it by accident. But spiders are a huge abundance in the abandoned mine shaft, so if you're afraid of spiders, be sure that you go down there really well equipped. There's actually another one back here. As a matter of fact, it's right here. That's a coincidence that there was 2 of them right next to each other. But abandoned mine shafts can be extremely huge and a huge pain to navigate, so make sure that you bring a ton of torches as well. However, abandoned mine shafts are huge in resources, so they're definitely something worth looking for. They can be quite big. This one isn't overly big, but they're characterized with all these wooden pillars, wooden bridges, and these supports, and bunch of mine tracks laid out on the ground. They're pretty common, so I'm sure you won't have any trouble finding one. All you have to do is really go into a cave, and you'll pretty much run into any of them. So, yeah, that's the abandoned mine shaft. Now, if you remember, I said that there is the possibility that you will run into a dungeon in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Well, I was right, because if you go down into the caves and you look long enough, sure enough, you'll run into dungeons. Basically, dungeons are like 10 by 10 rooms made out of cobblestone, and in the very center is a monster spawner. Unfortunately, this one glitched out and turned into a pig spawner, but this would have been a zombie spawner. See, this spawning pigs now, that's a bug, but this should be spawning zombies. And generally there will be 1 or 2 chests in each dungeon. If you break it open, it will give you a bunch of loot. For instance, here's some wheat, some string, and some gunpowder, and over here we'll break this chest. Iron, gunpowder, bread, wheat. So it gives you a ton of resources. And I was actually lucky enough to find 2 in the same cave. Just a few blocks down, there's yet another dungeon. This would have been a skeleton spawner, but the same thing happened. Unfortunately, it bugged out and started spawning pigs. But dungeons are a really interesting and valuable generated structure to find, because if you use it properly, you can turn dungeons into mob grinders, and basically it's like a free loot machine, and it is just amazing. I love dungeons. They're my second favorite generated structure, next to Strongholds. So I'm a pretty big fan of finding dungeons because they're pretty interesting. Again, they generate with 1 or 2 chests. Break them open, you'll get a ton of loot. This actually had a lot of gunpowder, some iron, some bread, and this one had same contents as last one: iron, gunpowder, bread, wheat, and string. They do come with mossy cobblestone, and this is the only place that you can really get it, aside from the mega taiga biome with those 2x2 stone boulders. But dungeons, they're really interesting, pretty common, so if you attempt to find one, I'm sure you'll find one without any problems. Alright, so another new generated structure is actually this. This is a miniature pond or a lake. These occur basically in every biome, and they're really not that important, but they are a new generated structure, so this does happen in PC Minecraft, so I guess this just makes the game feel a lot more like PC. They're just little mini lakes that spawn just about everywhere. Another new generated structure is this river. As a matter of fact, some people consider it a biome, but others consider it a generated structure. Basically, it's like a lake, sort of, but they're winding, they're really long, some of them can be pretty narrow, and they just wind all around the mountains and valleys, and it's pretty much a river in Pocket Edition. If it crosses into a ice biome like it just did, then it starts to freeze over, but you could see how winding this river can be, and some of these rivers are really long and can stretch thousands of blocks, and rivers have been added to Pocket Edition, so it's pretty cool if you guys like building like lakefront houses along these cliffs. This next generated structure is just like the miniature pond that I showed you guys earlier. This is a lava lake, and these, like the ponds, spawn in just about every biome, though they are much rarer in the cold biomes, like the ice biomes, but they are pretty common in plains. They can be found in forests as well, and they can also be found in deserts. They're also found at the bottom of caves, so if you go all the way down to the bottom of a cave, you're more likely to find one of these lava lakes. But they're pretty cool, and if you're not looking to go into the caves just yet, but you need lava for whatever reason, then if you find one of these lakes, then you're pretty set on lava, because they're a pretty good resource for getting lava out of. This next generated structure actually isn't even too important, and it's Pocket Edition exclusive though, which is pretty interesting. It's called the Fallen Tree, or the Fallen Log, and basically it's just a tree that generated on its side, missing its leaves, etc. So basically it's supposed to be like a dead tree, and it'll generate generally about 3 blocks long with one that's standing up properly, and sometimes they'll generate with vines growing on the sides, and sometimes they'll have mushrooms on top of them, like this one does. Sometimes they'll have both, and sometimes they'll have neither. But this is a Pocket Edition exclusive generated structure. Again, not too important, not too special, but it is something unique that Pocket Edition has that PC doesn't have. So if you ever find one of these, then congratulations, you found a dead tree. The last generated structure that I will be showing you in this video is the Stronghold, and this is like my favorite generated structure because it has the end portal, which once the end is added to Pocket Edition means we'll be able to go to the end, fight the Ender Dragon. It will be amazing. Strongholds are these gigantic labyrinths that are underground. They're extremely rare, and very few people have found one yet. And basically, if you can navigate around it, you should be able to find an end portal. And right here is the end portal room. It has like this little gateway, then some stairs, and over here is a silverfish spawner, which is really interesting. And silverfish do spawn up. There's some silverfish spawning right here. If you saw my mob video, then you would know that this is exactly what silverfish look like. They slither around, and this is the only place you could ever find a silverfish spawner. They're really rare, and this, oh my god, for some reason is like a non-solid block right now, but this is the end portal frame. Basically what you'll do is you'll get these Eyes of Ender, you'll place them around in a ring, and then once you get all of these Eyes of Ender in, the portal will turn black, you can jump through, and it will teleport you to the end dimension, which is pretty sick. And Strongholds just are absolutely amazing. I'm going to leave the end portal room right now, and I'm going to go and look around, see if there's anything else that I could find. Occasionally there are some chest rooms, but those chest rooms are kind of rare. I'm sure I could find one in here somewhere. But, yeah, again, they're pretty rare. I don't know how big Strongholds are because, again, Pocket Edition worlds really can't be that resource intensive. But I'm going to attempt to find one. Over here we can see we have the prison cells, some staircases that go down, and walking around, yeah, it looks like a dead end. So I don't think there is a chest room in here, but most Strongholds do have chest rooms. Some of them have libraries, and they're just absolutely amazing structures. They're composed of these stone bricks, cracked stone bricks, mossy stone bricks. It's the only place that you can get these legitimately in survival. So if you guys want to explore something new and get some valuable resources for building, then be sure to attempt to find one of these Strongholds. They're pretty interesting. Anyway, I'm going to end the video off here because this is the last thing I want to show you guys. Save the best for last. So thanks for watching. If you found it enjoyable, leave a like, favorite, comment below with your thoughts, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time.